Now on CoastTV News.
Healthcare lawsuit, the hospital group pushing back against a bill signed into law just last month.
Ocean Pines safety, walking down the road, biking down the road, the measures being taken to keep pedestrians out of harm's way.
Riding in style, Senator Coons flying with the president to a big event in Austin today.
West Nile virus, the dangerous mosquito-borne disease, is now here in Delaware for the first time this year. What you need to know.
And a pattern of spotty showers in the afternoon hours is trying to come back into full swing here. We'll talk about the timing of all that in a moment.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Race to the White House, Vice President Harris ramping up her campaign, Trump ramping up attacks, and the running mate decision still needs to be made. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight in the political arena. We're 99 days from Election Day now, and the two leading candidates for the White House are working to shore up support in battleground states.
Vice President Harris has just weeks to choose a running mate, and potential candidates are barnstorming the country on her behalf.
And while both sides sharpen attacks, President Biden is rolling out reform recommendations for the Supreme Court. NBC's Alice Barr wraps it all up from Washington.
Are clear. It is we.
Inside of 100 days until the election, Vice President Kamala Harris announcing a $200 million fundraising haul in the first week of her presidential campaign as she narrows the field for her running mate, several of the leading contenders going on the attack against former President Trump.
He's afraid of having to defend a record that has been really dangerous and destructive,
as he sharpens his jabs against the vice president.
She's a radical left lunatic.
And his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, defends his 2021 comments referring to some Democrats, including Ms. Harris, as childless cat ladies.
It's not a criticism of people who don't have children. This is about criticizing the Democratic Party for becoming anti-family.
Former President Trump on defense over his Friday comments urging Christians to vote.
You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians.
The Harris campaign accusing the former president of seeking the end of our elections if he wins, while the Trump team says he was talking about the importance of faith and uniting this country, all while President Biden is rolling out a proposed constitutional amendment to say former presidents don't have immunity for federal crimes, following a controversial Supreme Court ruling.
This nation was founded on the principle there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law.
Also proposing limiting Supreme Court justices to 18-year terms and holding them to binding ethics rules. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Vice President Harris released a statement backing the president's proposed reforms, but with a divided Congress, it's a largely symbolic move. House Speaker Mike Johnson has already said the Supreme Court overhaul would tilt the balance of power and is dead on arrival in the House.
Christiana Care has filed a lawsuit against the state of Delaware. This is in response to House Bill 350. Some of our viewers might remember this bill. It's creating a politically appointed board that would have authority over hospital budgets and strategies. A number of other hospitals, including BB and Bay Health, were initially against the bill, but after further negotiation with lawmakers, they removed their objections. For Christiana Care, they claim the law infringes on its fundamental state and constitutional rights while also threatening their mission of caring for the community. Here are some key details of the law. It was signed a little over a month ago, back in mid-June, and establishes a method of oversight in a politically appointed board with the authority over hospital budgets and strategies. Governor Carney and state Democrats argue it's necessary to control rising health care costs. Christiana Care is arguing that this type of control is unconstitutional and infringes on the mission for community.
Taking a live look outside into Ocean City to check on the weather tonight. It looks like a lot of fun out there with that Ferris wheel all lit up. Let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams on our first look at the forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. And yes, there's a lot of fun to be had outside right now because we have none of that no fun stuff like crazy humidity or thunderstorms or anything like that. Just a nice, copacetic kind of a summer day. And we want to have a few more of those before we have to talk about rain by, let's say, Thursday, Friday. So we take a look at our tidal health camera in Seaford. We're looking pretty clear here as well. We're going to drop to 74 with a few scattered clouds in the early morning hours, right around, let's say, 3 o'clock. Overall, temperatures right now, 77 in Lewis, 77 in Millsboro, 69 in Bethany Beach. But the dew point temperatures are in the 60s. So we have a heaviness and a thickness in the air because of the extra amount of moisture, but it hasn't produced any rain thus far. We'll talk about the possibility of rain being produced in the afternoon hours coming up in your full forecast. Till then, back to you, Mal.
Thank you, Paul. A Del Mar couple that was brutally attacked by the same man who killed Corporal Keith Heacook in 2021 recently passed away. Judith and Stephen Franklin both died on the same day, July 18th, according to online obituaries. This is a photo of the Franklins published on the funeral home website. Both in their 70s were viciously beaten by Randon Wilkerson, who lied and told them he needed help after attacking the Del Mar police officer. The Franklins made a full recovery in 2021. Their cause of death was not revealed.
New at 11, Delaware Senator Chris Coons took a little flight on Air Force One today. The first state senator traveling with the president and others to Austin to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act at the LBJ Library. In a tweet, Coons said, quote, "We reflect on those who fought for equality under law and how far we still have to go to make that ideal reality."
If you live in Ocean Pines and you like to bike or even just walk around, this next story is for you. The Worcester County Bike and Pedestrian Coalition has met with the Ocean Pines Association, giving them updates on what they're doing to try and keep Ocean Pines safe for everyone, from drivers to cyclists to those just crossing the street. Ocean Pines Chief of Police Tim Robinson is working with the coalition, which has already put some new safety measures into action on the south side of Ocean Pines.
New signage allowing drivers to, that there is a walking path crossing the road along with actual crosswalks. So we feel that's really going to go a long way to helping to increase safety in that area.
Chief Robinson also said that they've been very fortunate this year with very few incidents happening in Ocean Pines and that they plan on keeping it that way.
Here's something that's going to cost taxpayers in Milton a little more money. The Milton Finance Committee met today to discuss the town's proposed budget for 2025. On the town's proposed fee schedule for fiscal year 2025 is a property tax increase of 33%. Mayor Collier says this increase is, quote, beyond the town's control, unquote, to maintain employee benefits. People who live in Milton say more taxes, while maybe unpleasant, does make sense.
A number of people that are moving into what's broadly considered Milton, there's got to be some impact on infrastructure there. So that should be taken into consideration as well when we're approving developments and stuff like that.
This would be the town's third tax increase in 3 years after a 17% increase in 2023 and a 9% increase in 2024, but still needs to go in front of council for approval.
Heading to Milford now, the Franklin P. and Arthur W. Purdue Foundation has awarded the Milford Public Library a near $3,000 grant to enhance public access to the Mango Languages database. If you didn't know, that's a language learning application that offers over 70 conversational language courses. The library said this funding will support the growing demand for learning various languages among library goers. We have information about how you can access this resource on CoastTV.com.
DNREC confirms 8 Sentinel chickens were positive with the West Nile virus that came from its chicken stations in all 3 counties.
Those are chickens purposefully used to monitor mosquito-borne illnesses. It is the first time this year West Nile virus is detected in Delaware Sentinel chickens.
And Mallory, you went to Courageous Hearts, where the horses provide therapy to people from all parts of the state.
Yep, and in order to keep people and animals safe, the team there is being proactive and taking precautions. Horses at Courageous Hearts enjoy their manes and tails blowing in the warm breeze. But outside of this peaceful pasture, the West Nile virus has been detected in all 3 Delaware counties in sentinel chickens. Courageous Hearts provides equine-assisted psychotherapy and learning to all parts of Delaware. And like the company's name, Danielle Maldonado says they're standing courageous and protected against the virus.
We take precautions twice a year through vaccination of our horses here on the farm. We also take precautions with making sure we're dumping waters frequently to reduce the mosquito larval population as well. In our pond, we have the goldfish and the ducks who kind of take care of that as well.
In addition to those precautions, there is good news. According to the Delmarva Chicken Association, West Nile has been detected in only sentinel chickens, meaning there's no fear that there's an outbreak in boiler chickens, which are used in food. The mental health therapy program here is grounded with no riding involved. Instead, participants feel the emotions of the horses.
They get sad, they get lonely, they get tired, they get sick.
Which is why it's extra important for the program here that this herd stays healthy.
That's because they live in herds very similar to people in communities. They support each other, they nurture each other. They also have emotions the same as people do. They get sad, they get lonely, they get tired, they get sick. And when people come out here, they can feel their emotions through the horses, and it often kind of brings it down a little bit.
Horses trotting along through the risk, ready to use their healing powers for mental health and not get sick. Some good news. As of today, we have seen no reports of human cases of West Nile virus in Delaware, and none of the chickens used for food are detected to have the West Nile virus. Still, DENREC says the risk remains until we get cooler weather in mid-October or later. So remember to use insect repellent and wear light, long-sleeved clothing.
And sticking with mosquitoes, DENREC may initiate mosquito population control measures in affected areas based on mosquito population levels and species present. You can help reduce mosquito habitat by eliminating standing water in outdoor items. That's things like buckets, trash cans, even bird baths and rain gutters. We are just getting started this evening.
Still to come, a body found floating in the water, where it happened and what police know at this point of an ongoing investigation.
And medal count, we check in on the Olympic Games to see how Team USA is holding up against the rest of the world, plus our poll on which games are your favorite.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast for Cambridge. 85 on Tuesday, 91 on Wednesday, and a very steamy 93 on Thursday. Thursday's the day in which we've got to really talk about. Stick around, I'll tell you more about that in just 60 seconds.
Make this the summer at McGee Motors.
Make this the summer of fun and a powerful Dodge Hornet with 0% for 84 months.
Make this the summer you go off-road. Get 2.9 for 84 on Jeep Wrangler or Grand Cherokee, plus $37.50 off.
Make this the summer you go big. Drive a Ram Bighorn for just $379 a month.
Make this the summer you save. Jeep Compass 4x4 is just $249 a month.
Only at McGee Motors in Georgetown. A family tradition since 1948.
Take a vacation from cleaning and scrubbing and enjoy your summer with a maintenance-free shower with Coastal Bath. As the #1 Bathplanet dealer in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, Coastal Bath proudly backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal, 2-year money-back guarantee. See for yourself. Coastal Bath has countless 5-star reviews. It's Coastal Bath's annual sizzling summer savings. Enjoy $2,000 off or no payments, no interest for 18 months. Say hello to relaxation with a hassle-free shower from Coastal Bath. Call today for a free in-home estimate.
Not a shabby start to the work week, to be quite honest. Actually, pretty gorgeous, actually, and cool and tolerable and digestible and all those things that make for a nice, comfortable summer day. And I think we're going to ride this wave for maybe 2 or 3 days. But then by the time we get to Thursday, well, that's where it gets a little rocky, to say the least. All right, so we're clear, not rocky for tonight. We're down to 74 degrees, pretty even for the rest of the evening. You know what? We got up to 88 degrees today in Georgetown, and that's still right at or slightly below the norm for this time of the year. So we're still riding that wave of comfortability. 87 for the high in Salisbury, 82 for the high in Ocean City. We're holding at 77 degrees, not only in Lewis, but also in Redden and Millsboro, as well as Salisbury, 1 degree warmer than that, and actually in Seaford at 78 degrees, along with Rehoboth Beach. But in Rehoboth Beach, with 78 the air temperature, but 73 is the dew point temperature, and that's a very elevated dew point temperature, but at least it's tolerable. Now, at night, the dew point temperatures and air temperatures tend to get a little close to one another, and that's all right. It's typical. But during the day, when it's like this during the day, that's when it makes it a sweltering situation. We avoided that for today. Had a couple sprinkles that danced through Denton briefly, pulled towards Robbins, and then just lost all of its energy and just fell apart. We do have some gusty winds along the coast, particularly for Sussex. We're looking at about 25-mile-per-hour winds and throughout the Chesapeake Bay area. So we do have a couple of small craft advisories. So, don't go out there in the boat, especially if you're not experienced. Just try not to go out there if you have a small vessel anyway. But what's happening is we've got a lot of scattered shower activity that's to our west. It's going to take a while to get its act together before it really starts to bother us on a steady basis, like Thursday. I keep throwing out Thursday for a reason, okay? So here's a look at your shopping forecast. We'll be in the 80s, but we could catch a stray shower by 8 o'clock with the winds out of the south. You see, here's what's happening tomorrow. During the daytime hours, I'm really not so concerned. Tiny bit, but not a whole lot. 85, for example, in Lewis and Georgetown and Millsboro. Lots of sunshine, mixture of clouds. 85 in Vienna, 84 in Cambridge. For example, Easton, 85 degrees there as well. Look for partly cloudy skies in Salisbury, Princess Anne at 85, 81 for the high in Ocean City and in Chincoteague. Now let's get to the nitty-gritty of that chance of rain. By midday, winds are out of the south and Tuesday, and by 7 o'clock, we're not so worried. It's really at night that we're going to be mainly concerned. You see, because the overnight period and early morning hours going from Tuesday into Wednesday, that's when we're looking at this scattered shower activity to flare up, which is a little unusual during that time of night for it to flare up so aggressively, but we'll continue to watch it because basically the climate change is changing how the climate typically would act. Speaking of climate, when the climate becomes hotter and steamier, mosquitoes become more active. We're going to be at a high level for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to be at a very high level. Now, I bring this up because of our concern about increased mosquito activity and how it may affect us, because it's been tracked with the chickens as well as apparently with the horses with Mallory's story. So for Chincoteague and Assateague, we're going to go to into the 80s. For Ocean City, we're going to go up to 81 degrees, 86 in Fenwick Island. And finally, before we wrap it all up, Lewis, 92 for Wednesday and for Thursday. Get ready to become real steamy, Lewis. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast. As we go into Thursday, we're going to get really humid, like 106 or above. And then Friday, watching out for rain going into next Saturday.
Thank you, Paul. In Olympic news, here's your medal count. And, well, chant if you want to. Team USA is the leader, 20 medals so far. France and Japan round out the top 3. Then looking at your top 9, China, Great Britain, Australia, South Korea, Italy, and Canada. If you're keeping track at home, Japan has the most golds with 6.
With all of the excitement in Paris, we want to find out what Delmarva's favorite summer game is.
We chose a few common favorite sports, all of which can be watched right here on Coast TV over the next 2 weeks. And here's what we're going to put up there. You can vote for your favorites in the Delmarva's favorite summer games bracket. Let's take a look at some of the current face-offs in our local poll. We've got cycling and golf. I'm kind of surprised by this one now.
It looks like cycling's taking the lead. I mean, I know there's a lot of avid cyclists in the area with all the bike trails we have, all the spin studios we have too, if you like to do it inside.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't have a cycling forecast. We have a golf forecast,
That's right.
America.
Actually, we do have a cycling forecast.
I take it back. We do. Paul's correcting me from the other side of the room. Then again, don't forget to choose your favorites at coasttv.com/vote. There are a ton of face-offs happening right now. Paul and I will disagree on the answers of some of them, and we'll have results for you later this week.
And you can tune into Coast TV News for the Olympic Zone. That's Mondays through Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. This is a show that features a daily summary and showcase of up-to-the-minute Olympics content. All of this is happening exclusively on Coast TV News at 7:30 p.m. Mondays through Saturdays.
Election influence. The DOJ worried about how TikTok and its algorithm might play a role in the way people vote.
Plus, put that cigarette down, a new medication that is helping smokers quit, and you won't believe what it is.
Coastal Comfort knows there's no place like home. It's where we can be totally comfortable. Totally comfortable being ourselves, making a mess, making improvements, making strides, making memories with those we love. Totally. Big or small, at the beach, or on the farm, all along the Eastern Shore. It's home, and Coastal Comfort is always here to keep you totally comfortable.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier Factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Mr. Meyer was an awesome teacher.
I taught middle school math in Wilmington.
He goes out of his way. You could just see he really cared.
My students faced the most serious challenges in our community. They needed so much more than algebra.
When he became county executive, he worked to improve all of our schools.
We got teachers funding to innovate in their classrooms, started 1,000 Kids Coding to help low-income students get high-income skills.
Matt Meyer is someone who, when he says he's gonna do something, he does the work. Democrat Matt Meyer for governor.
In our coastal communities, every wave has a tale. Coast TV brings these stories home, from the smallest shell in Ocean City to the lighthouse in Lewis. What happens here matters. Every moment, every detail is a chapter in our shared story. We're your neighbors, your friends, woven into the very sands of our community. Our stories are your stories, reflecting the heart and soul of our coastal life. Coast TV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Detectives are investigating after a young woman was found dead in the Wicomico River. The Salisbury Police Department says she was found by local fishermen around 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. Officers say the body was in the north prong of the river just south of West Isabella Street. The agency says no foul play is suspected and an autopsy will help determine the cause of death. Detectives ask anybody with information on the case to contact the Salisbury Police Department.
Happening now, the Justice Department says TikTok could influence U.S. elections. In court filings on Friday, the Justice Department raised concerns that the social media music app's algorithm could allow the Chinese government to influence voters. The filing is in response to a federal lawsuit TikTok brought against the U.S. government in May. The lawsuit was an attempt to block a law that could force a nationwide ban on the app. According to the law signed in April, TikTok has until mid-January 2025 to find a new owner, or it will be banned from the U.S. entirely. This is the first time the federal government has responded to the lawsuit. TikTok has not yet responded to the recent court filings.
You've probably heard a lot about the new weight loss drugs that are gaining popularity in the recent years and months, but now a new benefit. They might help you stop smoking. A new study published Monday looked at the medical records of more than 200,000 people who started medications to treat type 2 diabetes. Many of them used semaglutides, things like Ozempic. And as it turns out, people on those medications were a lot less likely to have medical problems related to smoking, less likely to have prescriptions for medications to help quit smoking, and less likely to seek counseling to quit smoking.
As wildfires continue to burn in California, a new study suggests long-term exposure to wildfire smoke can have serious long-term effects on the brain. Researchers looked at 10 years of data from over 1 million people in Southern California who were 60 plus. They found the odds of dementia increased after repeated exposure to wildfire smoke. It's a growing problem because of the frequency of extreme fire days, which have doubled since the 1980s. People can protect themselves from air pollution, however, by staying indoors. If you have to go out, you should wear an N95 or KN95 mask.
Coming up in sports, the USSSA is the Eastern National Championship rolling on at Henry Parker. Our DSN crew breaking it down.
Plus, high rates for home buyers, how much existing home sales are slipping, and how much those costs that are selling.
And in honor of our poll in which bicycling beat golfing, I changed the golfing forecast to the bicycling forecast. Yes, we indeed do. We do deliver. In fact, we're looking forward to stay pretty favorable till we get to the late afternoon, because that's a 30% chance of rain by then. Steamy all day, by the way.
Download the DSN app today, driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Find your better night's sleep for less at Johnny Janosic. Shop now and get this Kingsdown Queen mattress, plush or firm, doorbuster price only $5.99. For a limited time only at Johnny Janosic's Mattress World.
You've probably heard by now that all Delawareans can attend Delaware Tech for free through the expanded SEED scholarship program.
So I can use SEED to pursue my nursing degree?
Yes, you can.
What if I want to be a teacher?
Let me check on that. Yes.
So you're saying I can finally get my degree in juggling?
We don't offer that. And that's not a thing.
Can I get a certificate in heavy machinery operation?
Yep. SEED's not just for recent graduates anymore. Visit our website for more information and eligibility requirements.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Get 1.9% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models, or get $4,000 purchase cash on this Sierra. We are professional grade GMC.
Coastal Comfort knows there's no place like home. It's where we can be totally comfortable. Totally comfortable being ourselves, making a mess, making improvements, making strides, making memories with those we love. Totally. Big or small, at the beach, or on the farm, all along the Eastern Shore. It's home, and Coastal Comfort is always here to keep you totally comfortable.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Dogs love to ride. It's a special kind of doggy heaven. So when they catch wind of you looking for a new truck, they're not leaving that to chance. Using all of their senses and search skills, they will sniff out the best deal for you and drop hints like presents in the backyard, which is why your next truck will come from the truck store, because it's roomy enough for your whole family and the dog, and you'll save so much money off original MSRP, you can buy a lot more dog treats. Dogs love the truck store, and so will you. MyTruckStoreOnline.com.
Find 16 mattresses under $9.99 and starting as low as $5.99 at Johnny Janosic's Mattress World. Shop the area's largest selection of mattresses with immediate delivery available. Shop Johnny Janosic's Mattress World.
New tonight, state police are investigating a shooting in Bridgeville. Here's what we know so far. Police say at 4:45 p.m. on Sunday, troopers responded to a home on Mill Park Drive. Officials say troopers learned that an unknown person fired several shots at a group of people on the property. Here's the good news. Nobody was hurt.
A recent study by Bankrate found nearly half of homeowners want mortgage rates much lower before purchasing a new home. In tonight's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at how current rates are impacting home sales.
It's part of the American dream, owning a home. But it's a dream that has recently been unreachable for many as inflation rates hit a 23-year high.
High mortgage rates and high home prices have really deferred that dream for a lot of Americans. It's just really hard to buy a home right now, especially for first-time buyers.
Jeff Ostrowski is an analyst at Bankrate. They recently conducted a survey with over 1,000 current home buyers and found 47% say they need to see mortgage rates fall below 5% for them to be comfortable purchasing a new home this year. 38% say they want to see those rates at less than 4%, but current rates are much higher than that. According to Freddie Mac, as of last week, a 30-year fixed mortgage rate was 6.78%.
The expectations among Americans aren't really in line with the mortgage rate reality.
The high rates could be turning away potential buyers. Existing home sales slipped in June to 5.4%, according to the National Association of Realtors. While sales are down, prices are up. The median home sale price in June was $426,900. That's the second straight month prices have reached an all-time high.
All those homeowners who locked in their 3% mortgage rates during the pandemic are in no hurry to get another mortgage at 7%, and that's really frozen the housing market.
The good news is many economists predict the Federal Reserve will drop interest rates in September, but Ostrowski says the mortgage market will likely dip before the Fed acts. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
USSSA softball continues at Henry S. Parker at the U18 level. This time, it's the Patriot Flames from Allentown, Pennsylvania, taking on the Titans Gold from Endicott, New York. on field one. Each side trying to start off pool play with a bang to set up their spot in bracket play on Wednesday. We start in the top of the first. Gianna Harrington at the plate for the Titans, and she would get things started. Flips this one high into the air to right. It bloops in for a hit. 2 runs come around to score on the 2-run single. That makes it a 2-0 ball game. And 1 inning later, they were not done. Marin Moore smokes one down the left field line. It heads to the corner. Another pair of runs trot home, and that doubles the lead for a 4-0 advantage for the Titans. Same inning, still more damage incoming. 2 more runners on. Tessa Lamoro sends it back where it came from. The runs keep piling on as the lead grows to 6. In the bottom of the second, though, the Patriot Flames loaded the bases. That would create some chaos for the Titans. They bring in Riley Sorer into the game, and she gets swing and miss after swing and miss to relax some of that chaos. A huge piece of the puzzle. Titans go on to win it 12-0. We'll have more USSSA action on DSN through the rest of the week, including live games on Saturday morning. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Music, meditation, massages, all in Milton. How you can attend when Coast TV News at 11 returns.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app today.
The excellence of driving a Buick is matched by the excellence of the dealership experience when you own a Buick. Buick, exceptional by design.
Sign and Drive is here. Get this ultra-low mileage lease on this 2024 Encore GX Preferred for around $343 per month with 0 due at signing.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Summer is slowly coming to an end, so get to Johnny Janosic quick for the biggest furniture event of the season. Save up to 50%, plus an extra 10% off everything, including clearance items. And get special financing for 36 months. Get this triple reclining sofa or double reclining sofa with drop-down table, only $899.95. Or this 3-piece outdoor sectional, only $1288.95. Shop the end of summer clearance sale for limited time only at Johnny Janosic.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series, gas, hybrid, or all-electric. These are the deals you've been waiting for. So don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a 0 down payment and make it no payments for 90 days on select Ford trucks.
Hi, I'm Joel Wharton, Sussex County farmer. Don't wait until after harvest to plant your cover crops. Consider broadcasting or interseeding cover crops into your standing cash crop. Early establishment provides more growth potential and more soil armor over winter. It also saves time because after harvest, the cover crop is already growing and protecting the soil, cycling nutrients, and preventing erosion. To learn more about the benefits and ways to establish cover crops early, contact the Sussex Conservation District because every acre counts.
Looking for some fun this upcoming weekend? Karma Fest will be in Milton on Saturday and Sunday. The summer event will take place at Hudson Fields and will feature live music, vendors, and delicious food, along with some yoga and meditation. Organizers say tent camping is available if you want to stay the weekend. The event will kick off at 10 a.m. both days.
I'm getting ready for the event as we speak, getting my yoga ready. All right. Namaste with this forecasting. So look, we're at 79 degrees right now, 75 with clear skies at 2 o'clock. Now, we are expecting for it to, we started a little late, so that kind of happens. All right, anyway, Robert Mitchell, that's our umbrella giveaway winner, actually, from Lewis. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. 5-day forecast. Listen, we're looking at the UV index a little bit on the lower side. Keep up with your forecast by calling our line at 443-880-9100. Sponsored by Baird, Mandalas, Brockstedt, and Federico. And here's a look at your extended exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.